So today we're going to talk about shadow missions and all the different types. So shadow missions like at Tailton and Tara, Avon missions, Baltane missions, and tech stuff. So one thing, we have too many shadow crystals. Like we have shadow crystals for the shadow missions at Tailton and Tara. We have ones for Avon. I don't know how many people have Avon crystals anymore. And we also have Baltane crystals. The first thing, I think we have too many different types of crystals. These are all basically shadow missions. I don't see why we have like 3 or 4 different types of crystals for them. It'd be a lot better if we just had one shadow mission crystal that worked for Avon missions, Baltane missions, shadow missions at Tailton and Tara. The other problem with shadow missions, like at Tailton and Tara and in Avon, is that they're too easy for a new player. So let's go ahead and do the other alchemists on Elite. I have a pass for it. Elite is supposed to be the most difficult type of shadow mission, well, except for Lord missions, and even Lord ones aren't that tough. And for this, I'm going to be using a character that is under level 2k. They have no bladed training at all. Haven't even started that. And they're using a basic Zeter 2 dual gun with training bullets, no armor of any kind. And we're just going to run this Elite Shadow mission and see how that goes. Some of the monsters can do a little bit of damage here, but overall it's not really a challenge. And anyone with even a little bit of bladed training would have no problem with this at all. So can we really keep calling these Elite Shadow missions if any player can do these with ease? I don't even think all these dual gun skills are rank 1. Like, some of these dual gun skills aren't even maxed out yet. None of them are Dan ranked. So my idea for improving shadow missions would be that the new basic difficulty would have the elite enemies, so the elite shadow missions that we have now would be the basic level, and that would just be for like new players. It wouldn't really be a challenge, but it would let them get used to the shadow missions, learn the mechanics, learn how the level works, all that stuff. And then after that we would have intermediate, where all the enemies would basically be on a veteran level. And then advanced, we would have enemies that are at an intermediate veteran level, so a little bit stronger than veteran level. And these would still be like soloable, but they would be a little bit more difficult to do. And then advanced veteran level for the new elite, which would be possible to solo, but also be difficult enough to encourage you to bring a friend or two. So it would encourage like party play a little bit. And then for Lord Shadow missions, I feel like these should be like on a Phantasm level. Like the monsters inside of Lord missions. It would basically be like a really short version of a Phantasm level dungeon. Because Lord missions are supposed to actually be challenging. You're supposed to go in there and have a difficult time with it. But even the boss in a Lord mission really isn't a challenge anymore. So the simple fact is that old shadow missions are way out of date, and with Arcana and Blanid and all these other things that make us way stronger, these shadow missions are just too easy. They're not a challenge anymore. And Baltane missions, so we have a separate crystal for these. Again, pointless. I think that we have too many shadow mission crystals, and they're also only solo. I think it was a huge mistake to make Avalon Gate a solo area. This had a lot of potential to bring back shadow missions in a good way, but they chose to make them single player instead of multiplayer. And overall, the system is just bad. And the Squire system is really bad too. I don't enjoy it. I don't know a lot of players that do enjoy the Squire system. So overall, that's just pretty bad. And I left this part in here, but I can't really complain about it anymore because they actually did this. They restored the difficult tech missions, which I am very happy about. So they added the difficult tech missions that were in before New Rise came out, and New Rise, in my opinion, has been a very bad update so far. We still do have the easier versions that were added with New Rise, which I am not against because it's new player friendly, so it does help new players get into it, but it needed to have the more challenging tech missions, which they have added back. So yeah, overall I think that's pretty good. And of course something needs to be done about Avon missions. I think it'd be a good idea to let anyone gather paper pages from paper sheep on your homesteads. I think that'd be a nice idea to get these play pages. And then again, the normal level of these missions, Avon missions, should be on a veteran level. I think it's okay if the story missions are super easy. It doesn't really matter for like the story missions. You could make the story passes on the same level that they are now. But like if you're running through the missions again with normal passes, intermediate passes, advanced passes, then the enemies should be on a level that matches the new player levels. Like, we have Arcana now, we have Blanded now. It's super easy to get really strong in Mabinogi, and a lot of monsters are just too weak. So yeah, those are my thoughts on shadow missions.